Hello guys, so today is going to be Tuesday. So yesterday, just a little bit of a recap, I went ahead and I had emailed you all of the lecture videos from last week because some of you were having a hard time accessing those on Blackboard. So I will be sending all of your lecture videos to you via email just in case, so that way you have access to those. So last week we covered unit conversions, temperature conversions, and then markup. So with the unit conversions, a lot of you were getting them wrong because you were not using the approximate conversion. So if you pull up your metric conversion study sheet that's located under course content and in the study lecture or the lecture videos or notes and study guides, it is the metric formula sheet in there. And there's two sides. There's one side that says approximate and then one side that says exact. You need to be using the approximate. That is what pharmacy math for the conversions is based off of. So I want to make sure that you're using that. So a little recap on markup. So the markup is a dollar amount. And that is figured by subtracting the AWP or the average wholesale price by or from the selling price. So markup rate, as you can see here, is actually going to be a percentage. So when you figure out or calculate the markup rate, your answer will be as a percent. Okay. So your formula is that you're going to take the markup amount, which is the dollar amount that you find from subtracting the AWP from the selling price. You're going to divide that by the average wholesale price, or what we purchase it for, because some problems will not mention it as AWP. They're going to say the pharmacy purchases at. And then you're going to multiply that by 100. Okay, so the interesting part here is that for the most part, the markup rate on brand name drugs are typically lower than the markup rate on generic drugs. So how I want to explain that is that your brand name drugs are typically more expensive anyway, but the generic drugs are much cheaper, and that's one of the reasons why most pharmacies, most physicians will encourage the use of generic drugs, because they are cheaper. But in the sense of markup, brand name drugs are going to have a lower markup percentage because they're already expensive, versus the generic drugs will have a higher markup percentage, but it still balances us out where the generic drugs are still cheaper than the brand drugs. So we're going to do a couple problems here. So you can see how you're going to calculate the markup percent or the markup rate. So we have a drug that has a selling price of $10. Our AWP was $5. Okay, so we need to calculate what is the markup rate. Okay, you cannot find the markup rate without knowing what the markup is. So you're going to have to do the selling price minus your average wholesale price, which is $5. Okay, so then you're going to take $5 divided by $5 and then multiply that by 100. So $5 here is what our markup is. So the markup divided by our average wholesale price, what we as the pharmacy purchase it as, divide that, then you're going to multiply that by 100. Okay, and that is what's going to give you your markup rate. So in this case, it would actually be a markup rate of 100%. Okay, we're going to try another one here. All right, so we have another problem here that has your selling price as $35. You have your average wholesale price for $25. And when we do that, we get a markup of $10. Okay, so again, placing this into your markup rate formula, you're going to take 10 divided by 25 because that's our average wholesale price, and then we're going to multiply that by 100. So 10 divided by 25 is 0.4. Multiply that by 100 and we get a 40% markup rate. All right, so we have another problem here. We have a selling price of $4. Our average wholesale price is $1.20. So we're going to take 4 minus $1.20, and that's what's going to give us our markup amount. So again, that is a dollar amount. So we have $2.75 is our markup. So we're going to take $2.75 divided by 120. Because that's our average wholesale price, which is 2.29 times 100, and we get 229%. So I wanted to do one of these because if you saw the 229%, you might think, oh my gosh, that's too much, that can't be right, but it is. So look at the amount that we pay for it, what we charge for it. Okay, so that ended up being a 229% markup rate on the drug that we purchased at $1.20 and we are selling for $4. Okay, so your math assignment for today is going to be completing a daily assignment with a bunch of markup rate questions. So you have to make sure that you calculate what the markup is first and then plug that information into your markup rate formula. Again, make sure you're reviewing these videos. I made them available via email now, so you have access to those because some of you were sending me emails asking how to do it, and I had the videos for you. But again, I know some of you didn't have access to those. So hopefully with me emailing them, that will take away some of that issue. So if you have questions, if you're unsure of anything, be sure to email me. And the biggest thing is really going back and paying attention to those unit conversions and using the approximate amounts on those and not the exact. Have a good day.